Hi, NTeamEN, Nicholas speaking, and today you're going to see a new type of videos called We Need a Plan. Basically, in each episode we're going to see an issue in the world and how to solve it. This week we're going to talk about world hunger. First, let's see what people say when they talk about world hunger. And since I haven't found a definition, I created one. So world hunger is a situation in which populations from all over the world are suffering from undernutrition. And as you know, it is a big problem. Indeed, world hunger affects 842 million people, around 1% out of 8. But the problem is that world hunger causes the death of around 25,000 people each day, around 1% every 3 seconds. It turns out regions affected by famines are affected because of a lot of different reasons, but none of them are inevitable. Indeed, the reasons are numerous. For example, in sub-Saharan Africa, the bad weather is often the cause of drought, which alongside of bad management of water is problematic. But the list of reasons doesn't stop here. Indeed, most of the regions affected by famines have a bad transportation system and are isolated, which increases the shipping cost of goods. But there are even more causes to world hunger, like the bad distribution of food. Indeed, we already produce enough food for everyone, but we waste too much of it. Another cause of world hunger is our way to produce, which is a stupid one. Indeed, by tradition, people still eat meat. Indeed, meat requires a lot more water, food and energy than vegetables to be produced. I mean, look at the numbers and see for yourself, there is a big difference. And here are the last causes we're going to talk about. Wars inside these countries and the economy that doesn't help, or even inefficient states in politically unstable regions. Alright, we're done about the causes, so now let's see what are the consequences. The first and obvious consequence is the death of around 10 million people each year, but there are other consequences like the wealth of the populations decreasing even more. Indeed, the starving populations are not able to work and enter a poverty trap. Since they can't feed themselves, they can't work and afford the money to eat. But world hunger is also the cause of epidemics since states are not organized to fight against the diseases that strike the weak, starving populations. And now we get to the most important part of the video, where we are going to learn how to stop world hunger. There are a lot of ways that could be done. The first one would be a small international action from the countries. Indeed, the cost to end world hunger is thought to be between $30 and $140 billion, which would be barely anything for a country and even less for a coalition of countries. Another obvious solution would be to better manage our resources by taking initiatives like permaculture. But another solution would be to consume more reasonably by reducing the amount of meat in our meals. Take me for example, I already did that since I'm a vegetarian. So all these solutions should be used to end this atrocity called world hunger. So I'm going to end this video on a sad note. During this video, 69 people died of starvation. We shouldn't ask whether or not we can solve world hunger, that's possible. But we should ask if we want to solve world hunger and if we are ready to make the sacrifices for that. I'll see you next week. Just a quick note before I leave, I gave €5 to the French equivalent of Action Against Hunger and I encourage you to do the same. There is a link in the description for that.